What's up, everybody? We are live. We have a good card this Saturday night. We got UFC Vegas 14. We got the new fight, RDA versus Paul Felder. And joining me, as always, is my co-host, Kelton. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? I'm certainly feeling a lot better about this card than I was a few days ago. Like, things were really falling apart. And then we just out of nowhere RDA versus Paul Felder, which is a really, really amazing main event. I mean, I'm way more excited for this main event than I was for Islam versus RDA because, I mean, let's be real. We all kind of knew what Islam Makhachev was going to probably do in there. And then even Brendan Allen versus Sean Strickland getting added to the card last minute. I mean, that might be the fucking best fight of the card right there. That's a great one, man. I know you got a bet on it too, so can't wait to talk about that one. This card's good, bro.
Yeah, man. We got to talk about the last card real quick. I'll do a quick shout out. We got this big tournament going on, the Mecca. Mr. Arkansas is, the host, and it's kind of set up like MTV The Challenge, which is a great show. So I'm excited. There's a lot of people in there, and I'm excited to see how far I'm going to go, man. So let's do this. Recap of the last card, Glover versus Santos. I mean, we both cashed a huge dog bet. I remember driving home from, the prison. I was watching it on my phone. My brother calls me up right before the fight. Hey, should I bet on the underdog? Yeah, you should. I have a bet on him. Do it. And then all of a sudden he looks like he's gonna die in the first round. Then he dominates the rest of the round, dominates the second round, almost gets the choke. I'm thinking it's a lock. Third round starts. I almost crashed because I was screaming because he almost died again. But man, dude, that guy's heart, dude, is fucking. I mean, we gotta admit, dude, Glover has a chin, dude. That's why he won the fight because the guy's heart, man. He's like in his 40s. I love Glover Teixeira. We cashed a huge dog bet there, so I had a winning night thanks to him. I cannot wait to see what happens next in that matchup. What happens next for both of them. Glover deserves a title shot, so we'll see. Co-main event, kind of a lackluster fight, Boza versus Arlovski. Arlovski got the dub. I thought Boza could have won, but it's a close fight. Rodney Barcelos versus Khalid Taha. I don't think a lot of people are going to talk about this in this matchup, but honestly, man, Khalid Taha, man, showed that he's no slouch. I don't think the guy is a bad fighter, man. I'm actually kind of excited to see who he gets next. I mean, he showed a lot of heart. He can crack. It's just he fought a top 10 dude. I mean, let's be honest. Barcelos could be even farther than that, man. Barcelos is nasty, and I'm really excited. I think was it Marab that called him out? Oh my god, dude, that's a crazy fight. If Marab calls out Barcelos, like, where's the line, man? I mean, dude, I don't know who would win that fight. Like, at the top of my head, I don't know. I mean, I really don't. I'd probably go with Barcelos there, man, honestly. We got Giga Chikazi versus, Simmons. I mean, yeah, Giga's a top 15 dude. I mean, yeah, he fought a bum, but, I mean, he deserves a big fight. I say give him Bryce Mitchell when Bryce Mitchell comes back, but they're not going to do that. Maybe give him Jeremy Stevens. That'd be a good test for Giga. I mean, we all know who would win that fight. Yan Zona versus Claudia. Yeah, I mean, man. Yan Zonin probably lost the first, but after that, she dominated the fight. My boy, Trevin Giles versus Bavon. Yeah, I'm kind of pissed I didn't bet him. I didn't bet the last two cops that fought. I didn't bet fucking Dawkins, and I didn't bet Giles. So kind of hurts me to say that, but we'll see what happens with Giles' next fight. But yeah, Giles looked good. I mean, it's probably his best fight in the UFC. He looked really good, and his striking looked good. His jab looked good. Bavon, I don't know, man. He might get cut after that. Romanov versus De Lima, yeah, that's a sacrificial lamb. Romanov got the dub and looked impressive. Elkins versus Gary Gory. Yeah, there was some really bad fight IQ in that fight, but I got to give it to my boy Elkins, man. The guy has really a lot of heart, dude. The guy is tough as they come, and I like Elkins, and I wouldn't be shocked if he would retire here. I don't think he's going to, but yeah, good win. Next fight, yeah, this is pretty bad play on me. I mean, I picked Ramiz all week, and last minute I bet on him, and yeah, sucks. I mean, Max Griffin dominated him. I mean, Max Griffin looked like the old Max Griffin, man. I mean, he really looked like he didn't look washed up in that fight, I'll tell you that. I know he was fighting Ramiz, but damn, Griffin looked good. I'm excited to see who he gets next. And that year was fucking disgusting. And then the last fight, We got Gustavo Lopez versus Anthony Bumchak. I mean, that was a total fucking mauling, dude. I mean, congrats to everyone who played Gustavo Lopez, and Bumchak just showed that he just doesn't belong. So, Kelton, what about you, man? What's your recap? Oh, real
Yeah,
quick, my bad. Yeah. So I had a winning night. I don't remember the top of my head, but I think it was like plus 2 or 3 units. But yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
yeah, man. I had a winning night as well. I won 2 out of 3 of my bets. I was with you on that main event, Glover Teixeira, 205. Like, why the fuck was he plus 205? It just makes no sense. Like, I even said all week, I thought Tiago being the favorite that's fine. That's all good and well. I mean, he is one of the best knockout artists in the UFC. But, I mean, he was sitting in the minus 200s all week. It just made no sense. Clear bet for Glover, man. I mean, he just had a huge grappling advantage. And, yeah, our worries happened. He got tagged. He got hurt. He got knocked down. But, I mean, if you watch this guy's career, he's made a career out of getting hurt, coming back, and submitting these guys. And that's exactly what he did, man. I mean, I said it. I mean, the only people that have actually, like, knocked out Glover Teixeira, Rumble Johnson, the, hardest hitter pound for pound in UFC history, and then a pretty close to prime Alexander Gustafsson, who even then it took Gustafsson 5 fucking rounds to get him out of there. I don't know, man. I just had a hard time seeing Tiago win, and, Glover did the shit for us. So, yeah, he deserves a title shot. I think Glover versus Blachowicz is, I mean, that's a serious main event. It might not sell a lot of pay-per-views, but, like, that's such a good fucking fight, man. Andrei Arlovski beat Tanner Boser. I mean, I thought it was a 50-50 fight. I thought it could have gone either way, so I was surprised to see the unanimous. But, yeah, Andrei Arlovski just keeps having these close decisions with these guys, and sometimes he even wins them. And I don't drop any stock for Tanner Boser personally. I still think Tanner Boser is a good heavyweight prospect. I mean, look at some of the fights Arlovski's had, man. I mean, Augusto Sakai. I don't think anybody here is saying Augusto Sakai is a slouch by any means. And Sakai had a really fucking close fight with Andrei Arlovski too. I know Sakai, he won the fight, but again, it was pretty close to this. It was 50-50. That decision could have easily gone Tanner Boser's way. So, yeah, Boser's still the man. Arlovski showed he can still win fights. So, be careful fading Andrei Arlovski, man, because I saw a lot of people playing minus 250 on Tanner Boser, and although he could have gotten that decision, you shouldn't have been playing him at minus 250. Raoni Barcelos and Khalid Taha. This was a losing bet for me. I had 3 units on the doesn't go to decision, and it went to decision. There was a few times where Barcelos could have got that sub. There was a few times Barcelos could have got that KO. There was even a time Khalid Taha, he cracked Barcelos. Barcelos got a little too aggressive there at one point when he hurt Taha, and Taha landed a good one of his own. There was a lot of spots in that fight where it could have ended inside. It just didn't happen to go my way. Great performance from both guys, though. I mean, Taha's stock goes up in a loss. Like Justin said, he looked amazing, way better than any of us thought he would look, and he fought a fucking beast, man. Barcelos is a serious dude. Yeah, he's a top 10 guy for sure, and it just solidifies for me, in my opinion, bantamweight right now is easily, and it's really not even close in my eyes, it's easily the best and deepest weight class in MMA. It's just how it is right now. Giga Chikadze made quick work of Jamie Simmons. It was nice to see him get his first UFC finish. Big fan of Giga. He's like, 5-0 in the UFC now. So good on him. I'd like to see him get a step up in comp, though, that's for sure. And then winning bet, Jan Zonin. So this one, this is basically what got it done for me. Jan Zonin, I had 3 units on her at minus 121. First round was a little tough, and then we got it going in rounds 2 and 3. Pretty much went exactly like we thought it would. And, she's a beast, man. 6-0 in the UFC now. I believe she just cracked into the top 3 of the rankings, which, I mean, super impressive considering women's strawweight is easily the most stacked out of all the women's weight classes. So, yeah, my girl Jan Zonin making it happen. Her striking is legit. She's really strong, too. Like, I thought Claudia was not gonna lie, I thought she was gonna handle her a little bit better in that clinch, and maybe that's just because she was tired. But Jan Zonin looked pretty fucking strong in there, man. She's definitely putting on a little bit of size. I know when she first came into the UFC, she was kind of skinny, but she's serious for sure. Love this girl. Trevin Giles, I mean, holy shit. We all should have max bet Trevin Giles. I mean, Bevon Lewis just continues to be a letdown. Even when they gave him fucking Daquan Townsend, one of the biggest layups in the UFC roster, I had 6 units on Bevon, and the guy basically hangs on for dear life in the clinch for 15 minutes. I mean, he's obviously still green. He should have got way more fights on the regional scene before coming into the UFC. And I mean, I see why they brought him along. Bevon clearly has some great physical attributes, and he's got some raw talent. It's just not clicking yet. And you look at Trevin Giles. Trevin Giles is he's like a top 30 middleweight, man. Really skilled in all areas. Trevin Giles is no slouch whatsoever. He did exactly what he should have, basically. So big props to anybody who bet Trevin Giles, because I mean, he was sitting at like what, pick him the whole fucking week. So yeah. Romanov and DeLima, not gonna lie, I was shitting my pants a little bit when DeLima got up after that first takedown, but Romanov did his thing, got him down again, and got the forearm choke. That was pretty sick. Love seeing that. DeLima, I mean, DeLima's a bum, but he's a fun bum. Like, I hope they keep DeLima in the UFC, because I mean, has a DeLima fight ever just not delivered? Maybe one. Maybe that fight against Wyjorek or whatever the fuck that guy's name was, but yeah, good performance for Romanov. Darren Elkins. Darren Elkins is a legend, bro. I love this guy. He's such a beast. He's so, man, he's just, I just love the game plan from him here. He did exactly what he needed to do. He was relentless with the wrestling. One thing I'll say, Gary Gory might not be the brightest. He's got some terrible fight IQ, but it was pretty impressive to see how well conditioned he was, because, Darren Elkins put him through the ringer in that, the early wrestling exchanges, and Gary Gory, he was barely breathing by the end of that second round. But Elkins was just way too much. Big step up in comp, and Gary Gory clearly has to work on his wrestling, his grappling, and although it might not be something you can work on, he's that fight IQ is not a good look either. Max Griffin, Ramiz Brahima. Griffin just looked, I mean, that was reminded me of the Mike Perry performance, man. He just looked fucking straight up solid for 15 straight minutes. Beat the brakes off the dude. Ended up, well, this one didn't go 15 minutes. He found himself a doctor stoppage. But yeah, man, he looked very good. Ramiz, I don't know, man. I mean, he didn't shoot the whole fight. It's like, dude, that's what you do, man. You get the fight to the mat, and you got some really slick subs, and that was his best chance here. There wasn't many people coming out and saying, oh, Ramiz is going to outstrike Max Griffin for 3 rounds. He's going to knock out Max Griffin. Nobody was saying that. We all knew it was going to be about the sub game, and he didn't even try. It was kind of embarrassing, but I don't want to take anything away from Max Griffin, because he did look good. And then Gustavo Lopez. This was the start of a great DraftKings night for me. I probably had the best DraftKings night I've had in like 3 or 4 months, and that was mostly because of Gustavo Lopez. I saw him sitting at 8,000 on DraftKings. There was really no underdogs on this card I liked besides Glover, so I found myself plugging in 8,000 Gustavo Lopez all over the place. He ends up getting the first round finish. I mean, he was fighting Anthony Burchak. Anthony Burchak got fucking cut from the UFC years ago for a reason, and they brought him back just because of the times we're in. He's not a UFC level fighter. The game has passed him by. Gustavo Lopez, I'm not sure how high his ceiling is, but I mean, obviously a good look to get a first round finish. So yeah, good card.
Yeah, man, let's dive into this card, man. First up, man, this is probably one of the toughest fights to call on the entire card. We got Don'Tale Mayes versus Roki Martinez. Yeah, man, I don't know, man. This is really tough. You got 2 strikers, they're both kind of not real UFC material. I will say this though, Mays has definitely probably fought the better competition, and he is more athletic. He has a big speed advantage here. I do like his movement. He does slow down, but early in this fight, I feel like his striking, man, is going to be good. I think he's going to pick apart Martinez. I think it's a good jab, a good right hand. I do think that he's more technical and, like I mentioned, big speed advantage. He's tough, dude. He has a good chin. Obviously, all of his losses, man, are the grappling. I don't think Roki's going to be able to take him down. Roki likes to slug as well. He has some good KO wins, but I mean, I'll admit he showed a lot of heart last fight, man. I mean, he didn't quit in that first round. He was in a lot of trouble, and he made it to the second round, and then he got tapped out by a good fighter. You could say dog or pass, but I just don't feel comfortable, man, putting money on Martinez or picking him here. So, yeah, you can say the same thing about Mays. They're both not good, but I'm going to go with Mays. I think that Mays can keep it on the feet, pick them apart, and possibly get a KO or maybe win a decision. But I'll go with Dontel Mays. I just think that I don't know, man. That more UFC experience, and it's hard picking a guy like Roki, dude. That guy is not in good shape at all. So I got Mays. Who you got?
Yeah, dude, you pretty much fucking nailed it. It is hard to pick a guy that looks like Martinez. Although I will say he is fighting Dontel Mays, and Dontel Mays is someone I've faded in the past, succeeded fading in the past. But you're right. It usually comes via the grappling. That's why I bet Nascimento in the first place in that spot. And Martinez isn't going to grapple, bro. Martinez comes to bang, and I think if Dontel Mays fights smart here, he's got some major physical advantages. He's much bigger than this guy. I feel like he can just, play it safe, dance around, and kind of point strike Martinez for 3 rounds. And I think if he takes that approach, he could easily win a 30-27 decision here. So I got no problem with Dontel Mays sitting at minus 200. I just, I wouldn't play it myself just because, let's just say this: Mays is not going to be in the UFC in like a year and a half from now. So I'll go with him, but not confidently. You're muted, bro.
Next fight, I know I saw it right when you said that. Next fight, we got Tony Gravely versus Gerardo de Freitas. And who you got here, man?
Yeah, this is an interesting one, man, because like pre-tape, looking into this one, just checking out the Tapology records and all that, I'm like, yo, Tony Gravely's been submitted like a million times. I know de Freitas is a good BJJ guy, but I mean, when I sat and watched the tape, Tony Gravely just impresses me more, man. I just think he's the better athlete. I think he's gonna have the striking advantage here too. He's just got to be safe about it, man. Just don't put yourself in any bad spots on the map because de Freitas is dangerous down there, and you've been subbed a few times, buddy. So you definitely got to be careful. But he should win this fight again if he fights smart. I mean, obviously it'd be best if he kept it standing, but that's not really what he does, man. He's a relentless grappler of his own, so. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to watch this play out. I thought about betting de Freitas at one point, but pretty solid on Gravely at this point. And I think whoever wins this fight is going to score a lot of DraftKings points. So it might be one to look out for. I'm going to go with Gravely by unanimous.
Yeah, man. I'm actually pretty confident in this play, man. I think Gravely is, going to win this fight, man. De Freitas can't stop the takedown. Yeah, he has good BJJ, but I mean, Chris Gutierrez going out there and taking him down. I mean, even Kolaris. I know he dominated Kolaris' fight, but Gravely, man, this is a big step up, man, for De Freitas. And I think Gravely, man, has good grappling. Yeah, his only hole in his game is him being subbed like 4 or 5 times. But I mean, if you watch that Brett Johns fight, dude, he looked good in that fight, and he really did. And I just don't see De Freitas competing with the guy like Brett Johns. I mean, no way, dude. I don't know if you did, but actually, I think you did. Didn't we? I know I did. Didn't you bet on Brett Johns
Against who?
against Gravely?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't
okay,
bet
yeah.
that fight.
Okay, I bet on him, and I was sweating that fight because that was a 1-1 fight, and I actually thought Gravely was winning that third round. And then all of a sudden, Johns got that submission. But yeah, man, Gravely's he's decent on the feet. He's athletic. He's fast. I just think that the big advantage for him is that grappling, man. He's relentless, and he's going to be able to take down the Freitas men at will, and I think keep him down there and possibly get a finish. So I'm going to go with Tony Gravely with a dominant decision here, man. Next fight, we got Miranda Markos versus Kanako Murata. Man, dude, this is an interesting fight as well. Murata has good grappling, man. I know, Markos is kind of a grappler too, but she's been taken down. I think her takedown defense like 58%. Just watching the photos on Markos, man, she's washed up. She's still a tough out, but I mean, there's a lot of girls, man, that have been able to take her down. And I think a girl like what is it? Murata. I just think that watching tape on her, especially her last fight, that 5-round fight against Teco, I mean, she's relentless, and I think that she has a better grappling here. Striking is not the best, but Marco's striking is not the best either. It'll probably be close on the feet, but if you watch the tape on her, man, she's gonna be going out the gate trying to get that takedown. I think that she can get takedowns here, man, and win a pretty comfortable decision. Markos has really bad IQ. I don't know what the hell she was doing last fight against Mackenzie Dern. I mean, just get up. Why are you trying to go down on the mat with a legit BJJ specialist? So, yeah, I got to go with the jab here.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything Justin said. I like the grappling of Murata. Most importantly, the wrestling. That's her bread and butter. She was a gold medalist in the Asian wrestling games like 8 years ago. Like, this girl's been wrestling for a long time at a high level. She is small, that's for sure. She's 5'1". She's a low center of gravity though, man, and she's gonna be a problem for a lot of girls that struggle with wrestling. And if you do look at Randa Markos' UFC career, she has been taken down by not the greatest of fighters in the past. I know some were long ago, but like Jocelyn Jones-Lybarger way back in the day took her down. Aisling Daly took her down. Jessica Panay took her down. Juliana Lima took her down. Even some strikers have taken her down. She can get taken down. And she's a 500 fighter for a reason, let's be honest. What is she, 9-7? She's got she doesn't have the greatest fight IQ, like Justin said. So I'm going to say Murata finds a way to hold 2 rounds of top control here, and I'm going to say she wins a 29-28 unanimous decision. Muted again, bro.
Christ, I have it on mute on purpose because when I go through my notes, I don't want that loud noise, But anyways, next fight, Luis Smolka versus Jose Teco Quinones, and I'll let you go first. I believe that you have a play.
Yeah, man. So I just have one play on this card for right now. That'll for sure change. I plan on adding more, but this is the only one I have at the moment. I put 3 units, -130 on Luis Smolka. I like him in this spot against Teco, man. And it's interesting because I actually liked Teco pre-tape. Pre-tape, I'm like, Smolka and Teco, like, we all know Smolka's takedown defense is not the greatest. All you got to do is look at the numbers. You're going to see, like, 35% or some shit, maybe even worse. We all know his takedown defense isn't good. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, Teco's a good wrestler. I've seen Teco get a lot of takedowns in the UFC before. He's won fights that way. It's just, I don't like him to win this fight, man. I like Smolka here. I like this second UFC stint that Smolka's been on. Most importantly for him right now, which is like, a big thing. He's sober. We all know when he wasn't sober, there was some really bad performances mixed in there, but he's bounced back, man. I mean, since getting cut from the UFC, he got sober. He won 3 straight fights on the regional scene, all by finishes. He's bounced back with 2 finishes in the UFC, and he has lost to 2 guys since coming back. He got subbed by Schnell and Kenny, but like Schnell and Kenny are fucking legit grapplers, like BJJ grapplers. Quinones is not going to come in here and sub Luis Smolka. In my opinion, Quinones needs to kind of hold on, hold top control Smolka for 2 rounds, and I kind of have a hard time seeing him do that, man. So, I mean, firstly, on the feet, I actually do give Smolka the edge there, too. I know Quinones is a decent boxer. Like, he's no slouch by any means. I don't think Smolka steamrolls him on the feet or anything, but I like what I've been seeing from Smolka, and I would give him the advantage on the feet. And then when it comes to that grappling, man, yeah, I think Teco will get a takedown or 2, but we also all know that Smolka is a hell of a scrambler, and I mean, Teco is one of those kind of guys. He let's be honest here. He's one of the kind of lower levels of the division kind of guys. There's a reason they gave him to Sean O'Malley. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those guys where I feel like Smolka can get away with that scramble game. And I'm going to say he reverses Teco, gets on top, and we all know Smolka's a motherfucker on top. Like, I don't know if y'all have never seen that Ben Nguyen fight, but that was some vicious ground and pound, man. If Smolka gets on top of you, like, yeah, you're gonna be in trouble. And Teco's one of those guys, man. I feel like if Smolka gets on top of him, I can see Smolka pounding away, maybe even locking up a sub. I can see him hurting him on the feet. So at minus 130 odds, I like a bet on Smolka. I honestly cap him more in between like minus 175 to minus 200. I love this spot for him. So let's go. You agree with me, bro, or what?
Yeah, man, I do got Smolka here. You know, he's 5-2, man, since he got cut from the UFC, and he's 2-2. You know, must be honest though. I mean, those two losses are against Stacey Kenny, who I think we both think is a top 10 guy, and then Danger. I mean, Danger, man, is good too. Danger has a really good submission game. But yeah, man, Smolka's striking has been improving. That's what I've been seeing, man, in the tape, and you could tell he was ripping the body against Kenny, and he rips the body a lot. It's a big striking advantage here, man. I mean, a really big striking advantage. Teco's just not really that good on the feet. Yeah, Teco has good wrestling. Yeah, Teco can go out there and take down Smolka, but I just don't think that's smart for Teco. I mean, number one, that's Teco's game, but I mean, Smolka has a good BJJ too, man, and I think it's going to be kind of fun to watch on the mat. So I do think it's a good spot for Smolka. Is it hard trusting Smolka? Yeah, because Smolka does have some of those performances where you kind of just question yourself. He's been submitted 3 times, but I don't know if Teco can go out there and submit him, dude. So and yeah, let's be honest, he did fight O'Malley last fight, who's, yeah, a good fighter, but he kind of quit in that fight, dude. So I do think that Smolka could actually hurt Teco on the feet, man. So I got loose to Smolka. I think he's going to get a finish here, man. I think Teco, he's tough, but we have seen him get finished before. So I'll go Smolka. So next fight, I believe we got Alex Morono versus Reese McKee. I mean, this is an interesting fight, dude, because let's be honest, man, Morono is just not really, that good of a fighter, man. He's a fade. I mean, when he brawls, he gets knocked out, and he brawls a lot. He lost to Nico Price, he lost to Chaos Williams. He's slow. He has a BJJ black belt. He just doesn't use the grappling. I feel like if he was smart, he would go out there and shoot. But I mean, he has never even shot for a takedown in the UFC, so I don't know if he's going to do it. I think that he has more power than Mckee. I think that McKee's really hittable, but I do think that Mckee could fight long and maybe pick apart Morono. I mean, it's just a weird fight, man. Both these guys are jobbers. I do think that Morono has a good right hand, and if he fights smart, man, he can, out technique Mckee and maybe win a decision or possibly get a KO. Because I mean, McKee's a little chinny. Took a lot of damage last fight, man, against Shimiev. I mean, a lot. That could be a life-changing, beating. But then again, Morono got destroyed against Chaos. And both times Morono got knocked out against Nico and Chaos, dude, it's like he died. He looked like he was going to die, man. I'm like, damn, dude. And he's probably Jeff Neal's fucking training partner in the gym. And we all know it's probably, Jeff Neal's punching bag in the gym. And one thing about Morono that I don't like is he slows down, man, a lot. Cardio, dude, is just not that good. So I'll pick Morono to get the win, man, because it's tough, man, picking McKee. I know McKee knocked out our boy. Well, he's not really our boy anymore because he fucked us up against Ronaldo, but I know he knocked out Herbert, but I mean, I got to go with Morono, man, by KO here. I'll be surprised if McKee wins, but if he wins, man, I mean, he can get a KO, man, because Morono's a little shinny. So I'll go with Morono. Who you got?
Yeah, dude. Morono is a little chinny. He's a little inconsistent too. Like sometimes he just looks much better than others. Like it wasn't even just the knockout losses against Chaos and Nico Price. What about the fucking stunts he pulled against Kaita Nakamura and Jordan Meehan too? But then on the other hand, sometimes he shows up and he's out here fucking absolutely demolishing Zach Otto, or he even almost finished Max Griffin 2 fights ago. He hurt Max Griffin in that fight. But again, like you mentioned, bro, he slows down. And even though he hurt Max Griffin bad in that second round, it was actually Max Griffin was the one who was able to get takedowns and dominated that third round against Morono. But Morono did enough in the first 2 rounds for sure. I actually bet him in that spot, and I was at that fight live. This is an interesting one, though, bro, because you got both guys kind of coming off 2, vicious losses. But, Morono's been around for a long time, been in the UFC for a while, fought the way better guys for sure. And I'll say this, like, you're right, he's slow and he is very unathletic, but skill-wise, he's pretty good, man. Like, he does have nice, clean boxing, It's just not all that sharp. And then the grappling, he's a very good grappler, and he probably should look for takedowns here, honestly, against fucking Mckee. But this fight's a mess, in my opinion. Mckee, I'm not sure what to make of him yet, but he's definitely got holes in his game, but he's also got good things about him. So, like, there's a lot of outcomes that wouldn't surprise me here. I wouldn't be surprised if either guy got knocked out. I wouldn't be surprised if either guy got decision. And I think Alex Morono could fucking sub Mckee too. So there's like so many outcomes bouncing around. I'd say from a betting window, it's probably dog or pass on Mckee, but personally, I'm very happy to just sit back and pass.
Next fight, man. We have my first play of the night, man. We got Miranda Granger versus Ashley Yoder. I have 3 units on Granger at plus 105. I mean, now she's like minus 140. I saw a lot of people were talking crap when I bet Granger, saying that I botched the line, but damn, man. I mean, she's a big favorite. Not a big favorite, but I mean, she's the favorite. So, you know, I'm excited that I beat that line movement because let's be honest, I don't beat line movement that much. But anyways, back on the matchup, man, I think this is a good matchup. I think that Ashley Yoder, man, she has the grappling advantage. She's just not that impressive, dude. She's 2-5 in the UFC. She's 4-7 when she goes to decision. I think that she has fought the better competition than Granger. I mean, I'm not going to deny that, but Granger, man, I think has a big advantage on the feet. I liked her boxing against Hannah Goldie. I think that she has a good right hand. She has a good left hand. She has good movement. She fights long. And the thing is, a lot of people are questioning her ground game. Well, I mean, she has a lot of wins by submission, but number one, number two, she's only been taken down, I mean, once in the UFC against Lemos. And yeah, Lemos got the win. But if you watch that fight, number one, Lemos is a good fighter. She's definitely way better than Yoder. Number two, she was grabbing the fence, man, like crazy. And I mean, the ref even like warned her like multiple times. I mean, I do think that they should take a point, and I do think that had an effect in, you know, getting her back, getting that choke. So I don't think that this is one takedown that's over. I actually think we've seen tape on Granger on the regional scene. She has a good ground game. She has good grappling. I actually think she can take down Yoder, but I don't think that's smart. I think she needs to keep it on the feet. She's 28 years old, man. She's a younger fighter. Her first 2 fights in UFC were both on, you know, short notice. This is her first fight with a full training camp. We're going to see a better Miranda Granger, man. And I really think that she can keep it on the feet and just pick apart a girl like Yoder. I mean, Yoder, we have not seen any progress with her in her feet on the feet. Like she has decent leg kicks, but her striking's not good. It's the same Yoder every fight. You know, she's going out there and beating Kondo and Amanda Bobby Cooper a split, and I actually thought that she lost that fight. I mean, Granger would 100% beat Bobby Cooper and Kondo, and yeah, she's having, you know, close fights with Markos, and it's just I just don't think Yoder is Yoder. I don't think Yoder's improving, man. I think, like I mentioned, she's just the same girl, and I don't think she's that good. And I think Granger, man, I think she looked good against Goldie. I think that, you know, Lemos is just a different level. And I think we're going to see the best Granger here, man. She's a young girl. She's huge for the division. She has good technique. She has good boxing. And I really think she's going to go out there, man, make a statement here and get a big dub. So I'm going to go with Miranda Granger. I'm not going to say by finish because Yoder's a pretty tough chick to finish. But I do think that, I mean, Granger has a nasty guillotine, man. I don't think she's going to get a submission, but I think that Granger's going to win a decision here, man. So one more thing, too. Granger throws more. She has more volume. She threw like 130 significant strikes against Goldie. I mean, Yoder's, I mean, she does not throw a lot, dude. So I got Miranda Granger winning a pretty competitive decision. I'll go with the 29-27. I see the Granger winning a big third round here.
Yeah, man, it's funny. I definitely gave you a lot of shit when you first bet this fight, but now that I looked into it and the line has moved a bit, you made a good fucking bet. Did you even say what line you got?
Plus 105.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good one, man. I mean, she's minus 140 now. The more I think about it, I mean, I do think this is going to be a close competitive fight, but the problem for me, I mean, we've seen Yoder in a lot of close competitive fights, and I mean, how many times has it been 1-1 and she lost the third round? Like, I mean, every time. So, like, in a fight like this, where I think it's going to be close and probably 1-1 going into the third round, like, why on earth am I going to pick Ashley Yoder? I mean, historically, you know, the stats will tell me that she loses that time. So, yeah, Miranda Granger, I don't think she's the best by any fucking means, and I definitely don't think she should take this fight to the mat because I do give Ashley Yoder the advantage there. I do think she's a better grappler. But, yeah, I'm going to say Granger fights a good smart game plan, keeps it standing. Who knows? Maybe she could prove me wrong, take it to the mat, and dominate Yoder there. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going to go with her. I'm going to go with Granger to win a 29-28 unanimous decision, and I wish you the best of luck, bud.
Hey, man, next fight, I'm going to go first one more time. We got Brendan Allen versus Sean Strickland. Yeah, I got 3 units on Allen at plus 120, man. It's a good matchup, dude. Kind of bummed, dude, that Allen didn't get to, go out there and beat a top 15 dude in Heinich. But, I mean, Strickland's a good fighter, man. And Strickland, I'm excited, man, that he's back in the UFC and he's back fighting. He had a terrible accident. He looked good against fighting against a jobber, but this is a different matchup. One thing I'm going to say in this matchup right now is Strickland is the better striker. I will admit that he has a really good jab, has a good right hand. That's the striking advantage here, man. Yeah, Allen definitely his striking has been improving. He's only going to look better training at heavy pen remove. I think that we're going to see, his striking look better here, man. I mean, he's great in the clinch, good knees, good right hand, but we all know what's going to happen here, man. He wants to go out there, use that relentless pace, push him against the fence, get the takedown. Strickland has 80% takedown defense, 81. And, he's tough, man, to take down, but we've seen it, man. Garcia did it multiple times. Usman, did it and, dominated the fight. Ponzi took this guy down. Bubba McDaniel took him down. I mean, I just think a guy like Brendan Allen, man, this is the biggest dude he's ever going to fight. This is at 195. It's a catch weight fight. It's only going to favor a guy like Brendan Allen. Let's be honest. Allen was going to move up the light heavyweight too, man. So I think he's going to look huge in this fight, dude. And I got to go with Allen here, man. I think that he's going to go out there and take him down, man. I think on the feet it's going to be competitive. I think that Allen's going to showcase his striking, how much it's been improving. And right when he sees the opening, he's going to take him down, use that body lock. And I know it's just a big statement because Sean Strickland, he's never been tapped out. He has a really good brown belt in BJJ, but I got to go with the black belt here. I got Brendan Allen first round submission. I think he's going to make a big statement here, man. And he deserves a big fight, man. I really think he needs to fight the winner of Vettori and Jacare Souza. Give him a big fight.
Man, this is a very complex and hard fight to call for me, which it's interesting because the fight Allen just had against Ian Heinisch, I felt the exact same way, bro. I just didn't fucking know how to take it. Like, I guess I just don't really have a read on Brendan Allen just yet, just like how good he is. Like, I'm just not sure. And I think this fight is definitely going to tell us, in my opinion, here against Sean Strickland. Yeah, it's just tough, man. It's complex because I feel like Allen, with his grappling advantage, it's hard for me to not favor a guy here at 195 pounds who's an actual middleweight, like Justin said, could probably fight at 205. It's hard for me to not favor that guy against a guy who once fought at 170. And I know Strickland's a big guy. He's tall. That's all good. But, like, he's not as thick as Brendan Allen. He's not going to be as strong as Brendan Allen. And I have a hard time seeing him be able to stuff. Like, maybe he could stuff a few, but, like, Allen's relentless. Maybe Strickland stuffs the first 2 or 3, but is he going to stuff the 4th and 5th? I don't know, man. And then another notch onto that, like, maybe Allen does get the takedowns and he has some success early. What if it goes late? I kind of give Strickland the advantage if it goes late. I think he's probably got the better cardio here. So it's just hard for me to say. I could see this fight being very, very close. But I think ultimately, like, gun to my head, I have to favor Brendan Allen here. I think he's going to be able to find a way to win at least 2 rounds with the grappling. If I had to say, it'd probably be rounds 1 and 2. So I'm going to go with Brendan Allen. Once again, I'll give Justin credit. I think he got a good line. And I'll say Allen 29-28.
Next fight, man. I think this is the first fight of the main card. The Allen fight should be on the main card. That should be the co-main event. I don't know why Chaos Williams fight is the co-main event. But anyways, I do know why. We'll talk about that later. So, Antonio Arroyo versus Eric Anders. Yeah, man. Who you got in this fight?
Yeah, man, this is one I'm looking at to potentially be my second play of the card. It's a good fight. Like, been a fan of Eric Anders for a long time. Like, I was watching this guy long before he was in the UFC. We all know was on that Alabama college football championship team, and then made his way in the LFA. I thought it was cool. We had a college football champion fighting in LFA. And then he starts winning some big fights in LFA, including a guy we just talked about in Brendan Allen. Like, I remember watching that fight live, and being really fucking excited for it because I knew Anders was going to be in the UFC, and I knew this kid, at that point, he was very young. Brendan Allen was like, what, 20 years old when he fought Eric Anders? Like, and you could just see, hey, this kid might be in the UFC too. It might just take a couple more years because he's like 20 at this point. So yeah, I've been a fan of Eric for a long time. He's definitely had some rough goes in the UFC though. Even hit a 3L streak at one point against Thiago, Elias Theodorou, and Khalil Roundtree. Then he knocked out Mahmoud, one of the worst fighters in recent UFC history. Went to a split with Gerald Meerschaert. I was at that fight live, and my God, man, that was just an awful fight. Neither guy did enough. Anders just falls very flat sometimes. Like, if the fight's competitive, like, he just falls flat. And then the most recent fight, I think you were on it with me, too. You bet Anders with me in his last fight, too, against Jocko, just because, like, me and you, we were viewing Jocko as a guy who, let's be honest, Jocko's taken a lot of damage. He got knocked out by Brad Tavares, who doesn't knock out anybody. Me and you were thinking Eric Anders might come out here and, put the fist to the chin and knock out Jocko, but Eric pulled, like, kind of a really bad stunt there. Like, he was trying to wrestle Jocko the whole time. Like, I get that he probably thought he wouldn't be able to outpoint, a good point striker and Jocko, so he decided to wrestle. But like, it wasn't working, dude. Like, you couldn't get this guy down. Like, he didn't even try to knock out Jocko, and we all know Jocko's chin is not the best these days. So it's kind of like fight IQ, flat performances. He's very slow. Antonio Arroyo, on the other hand, though, I think this dude is a beast for 185. He's a big guy. I like his striking a lot. He's certainly the much faster striker here, and I could see him hurting Anders on the feet. The only problem is I don't think Antonio Arroyo has the best takedown defense. I don't think his takedown defense is as good as Jocko. So if Anders comes in fighting exactly how he did last time, he might be able to get a takedown or two here against Antonio Arroyo. And Arroyo doesn't even have his first UFC win yet. I mean, Anders is much more proven at this point. So I kind of get to a certain degree why Anders is the favorite. But at dog money, man, I'm going to pick Antonio Arroyo here. I'm going to say he is able to stuff any kind of takedown attempts from Anders. And on the feet, I just see him being the faster guy, throwing more, landing more. I see his shots being more powerful. And I'm going to say he wins a 29-28 unanimous decision, outstriking Eric Anders. And at plus 120, I'm considering a bet.
Yeah, I got it right here too. I'm not playing it. I was going to bet him, but, I'm more confident in my other three plays. But, yeah, I do think that Arroyo, man, is really good striking. I think there's great kicks, and we saw Khalil Roundtree really hurt Anders with those kicks. Arroyo has nasty kicks. He has a good right hand. It's the only thing with Arroyo, man, that bothers me is his cardio is not the best. But Anders kind of slows down too, dude. So both these guys slow down. Anders definitely has a grappling advantage, but I just don't know if he's going to be able to get down Arroyo. And, he doesn't even shoot really for the most part, man. So, Anders is slow on the feet. He has no volume. That's one thing about him. He just does not throw, but he's tough. He has a good straight left. He hits like a truck. It's just – you're just yelling at the TV, man, when you bet on Anders. Man, he's 5-5 in the UFC. He's 2-4 in his last 6 fights. He's definitely on the decline. I know Arroyo lost his first fight, but that's against a good grappler, man, and Nunez. I think he has a big speed advantage here. I think that he has a better striking. I do think that Eric Anders has more power, but Arroyo, man, can just pick him apart, dude. So I'm gonna go with Antonio Arroyo, and I'll go with the decision. So next fight. We got the fight of all the fights on the card, man. We got fucking Corey McKenna versus Kay Hansen. And you know what, man? I was going to go first, but you know what? I'm going to let you go first. I really want to see what you're going to say about this. So you go first.
All right. I will go first on this one. This is a good fight, man. I actually just saw that when it comes to combined ages, this will be the 6th youngest fight in UFC history. Both girls only 21 years old. They're obviously very, very young. But when I watch the tape, I think both girls grappling very good. I think these girls both have bright futures. It's just when I see Kay Hansen, man, she's the one with 10 pro fights at this point. Corey McKenna, she's actually making her debut now. Kay Hansen's already made her UFC debut, got a win, got a finish. Corey McKenna, I view her as still just a little more green. I think Kay Hansen's, she's further along. Corey McKenna, she's only got 6 pro fights. She did win on the Contender Series and dominated on the Contender Series. I'll give her credit for that, but I certainly view Kay Hansen as a bigger step up than Vanessa Demopoulos. That was some of the most ugly technique I've ever seen. And if you saw Demopoulos, she actually fought 2 weeks ago. She defended her LFA. Well, I shouldn't say defended, but she attempted to defend her LFA title, and she looked god awful garbage in that fight too. She's 5-3 now. So even though Corey McKenna beat Demopoulos, Kay Hansen certainly has the better record. She's beaten the better girls, and I don't know about you guys, but I certainly view the Invicta scene as a much more tough scene than the European women's MMA scene. But I will give Corey McKenna credit on this, though. She has moved. Well, I don't know if she's permanently moved, but she's been here for a while in the United States. She's been training at Team Alpha Male. She's been training with Sarah McMahon. She is doing all the right things, in my opinion, to further her MMA career. And I do think she has a very bright future. But the problem for me is that she's fighting somebody else with a very bright future here in Kay Hansen. And I just view her as further along. When I watch Corey McKenna's fights, she's been put in very bad positions grappling-wise. And I view Kay Hansen as, good enough as a submission threat to think that she's going to submit Corey McKenna off one of these mistakes, man. I just think she's the sharper grappler at this point, but Corey McKenna's no slouch. If she is able to reverse Kay Hansen, which is possible, and get on top, she's got a very good top game, man, and I think she could give Kay Hansen problems. Even on the feet, I think this is a competitive fight on the feet. I don't give Kay Hansen some big advantage, but I like Kay overall here, man. I'm gonna say she does sub Corey McKenna at one point in this fight. She's minus 200. I'm going to say I understand that line. I think Kay should be a minus 200, so therefore I don't see value. I'm going to pass. I know Justin disagrees with me big time. Let's see what he's got, man.
Yeah, my last play is on the dog here, McKenna, 3 units at about plus 180. And this is a great matchup, man. Both these girls are really good prospects. I was really impressed, man, with McKenna's last fight against that stripper. She looked really good, dude. I do think that this could be a scramble fest. I think the Hansen has a good ground game. I think both these girls do. If you think about this fight from a sideways squeeze standpoint, I do think that McKenna is a better striker. I think that she has good movement. I think she has a good right hand. She has a good pace, good pressure. And I just don't think Hansen's striking, man, is better than McKenna's. I think that Hansen has to get this fight down on the mat, but her taking down McKenna or getting this fight to the mat is going to be both these girls' world. I mean, number one, I just said McKenna's a better striker. I think that Hansen probably has the better wrestling, but I do think that McKenna, they both have good ground games. I think if McKenna gets on top, dude, she has a great top control, which we've already talked about multiple times, really good elbows. And I can 100% see McKenna grind this out. Can I see Hansen getting a submission? Yeah, because Hansen, is a good purple belt, and she has a lot of wins by submission. We've seen McKenna in some bad spots before, but every time we saw McKenna in those bad spots, she got out of it, man. I mean, 2 fights ago, she got taken down right away, mounted, and then reversed it and pounded her out. I mean, we got to talk about Hansen too. I mean, she has 3 losses, and yes, McKenna, she has 1 loss on her record against that Italy bum, a Contender Series and all that stuff, and it was a split decision in 2018. But let's talk about Hansen then. I mean, she's lost in 2018 too, and she got pounded out, and kind of the same way that we can see McKenna, man. I mean, she got pounded out, got taken down, and dude, the girl's top control was good. And you know who has good top control? Corey McKenna. And like Kelton already mentioned, 21 years old. She's training at Alpha Male this camp. He's training with legit dudes, man. Josh, Emmett, Feely, all those good wrestlers over there. Actually, not Feely. Let's not talk about Feely anymore, man. Thug Nasty fucking beat that ass. But anyways, she's training with good training partners, man. And I mean, I do think that she's trained at a better gym than a girl like Hansen. And yeah, Hansen is impressive. But if you watch her fight 2 fights ago against that 7-4 bomb, yeah, she looked great, but she got reversed multiple times, and that bum got on top. If McKenna gets on top, dude, I mean, it could be a wrap, man. McKenna's smothering on top, dude. So Got to go with McKenna, man. This is a close fight, and close fights, man. It's dog or pass. I think the McKenna, like I mentioned, the better striker. I think they both have good ground games. I'm not disrespecting Hansen at all. I think that she has the better wrestling, but you got two grapplers going against each other. They're both good. I got the girl's better striker. I got the girl that has a better top game. I got Corey McKenna. I'm gonna go with a TKO. I think that she pounds her out in the second round. So next fight, man, we got Julian Marquez versus Safarov. This is a short breakdown for me. I really wanted to pick Safarov here, man. I really wanted to do it because I don't think that Julian Marquez is that good. But after you watch the tape, you got to go with Marquez here, man. I know he has not fought in a long time. This could be dog or pass, but I just think that Marquez, man, has more ways to win this fight. And yeah, we can bring up the Stewart win, which was good, and he lost to Italy last fight. That was a close fight, but you know what, man? You want to know why Italy won that fight? It's because Italy had the grappling to beat him. Does Safarov have the grappling to beat Marquez? No, he does not, dude. I mean, there's no way. And Italy is a tough dude, man. Italy took some huge shots there, dude. Safarov has no cardio. His only win is against probably the worst fighter to ever be in the UFC. I mean, I can't even pronounce that guy's last name, but I mean, Nick, that guy sucks. Yeah, Safarov looked pretty decent on the feet versus Vieira, but then once he got taken down, it was all she wrote. I think Marquez has the better striking. I think he has a good straight left, a good right hand. He has good pressure. He's been training at Glory MMA his whole training camp, so I think that it's going to be a good look for him. The only thing I question about Marquez is the layoff. Number two, his cardio is not the best, but I do think he has better cardio than Safarov. And Safarov has like no back. He's all these injuries, 1-3. He's just not impressive. His physique. Yeah, Marquez the dad bod too, but Marquez packs a punch. I got Marquez. I said I was gonna make this short and sweet, but I've been kind of rambling on about it. So I got Marquez by a KO here.
Yeah, I agree, man. You pretty much nailed it. I think Marquez deserves that minus 280 line that he sits at. Safarov's just, I mean, he's super fucking unathletic and old. And, I mean, all you got to do is watch that Gian Vellante fight where he just literally, his body fell apart on him. I thought after that Gian Vellante fight, I'm like, yo, we're never going to see this fucking Safarov guy ever again. And then, he came back. He, like you said, he won that fight against that, oh my God, that complete bum, Nagumarinu, I think his name was. Yeah, dude's fucking awful. But yeah, I mean, I think Marquez can win this fight standing. I think he can pick apart Safarov to a decision. I think he can knock out Safarov. I think he can sub Safarov. So yeah, I like Marquez. I mean, he's obviously got the much higher ceiling of the two, even though I don't view Marquez as some great fighter. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Marquez by finish. I mean, you should probably plug him in on DraftKings. I would think, like, he's probably going to tee off on Safarov or finish him, so he should probably get a lot of points.
Both these guys are fades, but I'll go with Marquez. Next fight, we got Razak Al-Hassan versus Chaos Williams. Who you got here?
Yeah, man, this is a good fight. I'm not really sure who I got here, man. I mean, I guess I got Razak. Like, his power is something else for sure, but that's, I mean, Chaos Williams, like we mentioned him earlier when we were talking about Morono, he came in. I mean, he was pretty well unknown. He was a big underdog, and I mean, he smoked Morono. The only problem with that was, like, we didn't really get to see Chaos Williams in an actual fight. Like, Razak's got a chin. Razak isn't just going to fucking go down immediately, just like Morono did. Not only that, like, the pressure Razak is going to bring is going to be, it's going to be hard for Chaos Williams to deal with, and I don't know, man. I don't really view Chaos Williams as some kind of great technical counter striker. Like, I know he's got power, but I just Razak's going to do his thing. He's going to come in very aggressively. He's going to rush this kid. He's going to try to knock him out. I really just don't know if Chaos Williams has the skill to actually, like, counter him, knock him out, or avoid the knockout altogether. I think there's a good chance he could just get absolutely smoked here. But if his chin, if his chin holds up here and this fight gets extended, like, we all know if Razak empties that gas tank and doesn't get the knockout, it's not going to go well from there. So, I mean, can Chaos Williams win this fight? Fucking absolutely, dude. And I think if he does survive that initial round one burst, like I said, Williams has power of his own. And the minute that Chaos Williams starts pressuring Razak, there's a pretty good chance Chaos Williams could actually get a late KO here. I mean, I it's hard to say that just because like we haven't seen it at the UFC level. Like, I don't know. I should probably dig into more tape. To be honest with you, I haven't watched a whole lot of Chaos Williams, but like, yeah, if he can extend this fight, he's got a chance for sure. But I think the smart pick here is probably going to be Razak to bounce back with a round 1 KO.
Yeah, man. Razak did not really look in good shape last fight. And yeah, you can say this is first round KO or bust here because, he slows down in his fights and Chaos hasn't been knocked out. I see a lot of people saying that. But if you really watch the tape on this, man, I think this is a good matchup for Razak, man. I think he's going to go forward. I just don't think that a guy like Chaos Williams can eat all that punishment. Like, let's be honest, dude. What Zez been? That guy has a chin, man. He took a beating, man, in those first 2 minutes, and he's more well-rounded too, man. I don't think Chaos, has the grappling to go out there and take him down, especially early in the first round. Razak is a monster, bro. He really is. So I'm gonna go with my boy Razak here, and I think he gets a devastating KO here, man. And it makes it quick work. I mean, yeah, Chaos Williams, man, he got the Morono win, but before that, dude, the regional scene tape, dude, that we watched was not impressive at all. And I'll be honest, the Lozez tape on the regional scene was actually pretty impressive. He actually looked good, dude, and he had a good record. Chaos Williams is not impressive, man, before the Murata fight. So I got Razak all day. Main event, Paul Felder. We got against RDA. I had Islam beating RDA, but this is a different matchup, man. I wanted to pick Felder here, but then when I watched the tape, I got to go with RDA. He is actually the one training for the training camp. I'm sorry, he's the one that's been training. I mean, Felder takes on 4 days notice, and yeah, he's probably going to be in good shape because he's training for that triathlon. But I think stylistically, I think that RDA has a big advantage here on the ground. I mean, if he chooses to take it, I don't know if he's going to, but if you watch all of his last fights, yeah, he's on the decline, but he's been losing the grapplers, dude. I don't think that Felder's going to go out there and be able to take him down. And number 2 on the feet, I actually think the RDA is the better striker. I think he's more tactical. I think that he has better cardio here. Cardio is going to be big in this matchup, man. I mean, we've seen Felder slow down before. And a guy like Hooker and a guy like Edson Barbosa is going out there and taking him down. Oh, my God, dude. RDA should know he has a big advantage here in the grappling. But I think the pace RDA brings, I think he has more volume. I think that he has a good right hand, a good jab. I think Felder has good striking, too. I think Felder, probably hits harder than him. I think Felder has great kicks. He has a good right hand. But I just think that the volume, the pace, the grappling advantage, I got to favor RDA. So I got RDA. I think RDA's due for a win. I think that, let's be honest, he should be fighting at 55. He shouldn't have went to 170, but he had some good wins. But he's not fighting a grappler anymore, man. He's fighting a striker who's also on the decline, just like RDA. Give me RDA here. Give me I will go with the 49-46 decision.
Yeah, man, before I get into this breakdown, let me just say huge props to Paul Felder for taking this fight on 5 days' notice against a serious, fighter like Rafael dos Anjos, former champion. He's been training for fucking Islam Makhachev for months now. Like, yeah, all the props to Paul Felder. I'm sure they are paying him nicely for this one, and deservedly so. But the problem is when I break down this matchup, I mean, you mentioned it, bro. Hooker took him down. Edson Barbosa took him down in their rematch. Like, nobody was expecting that when Edson shot and actually got the takedown. We were like, oh, shit. And, I mean, no disrespect to Paul Felder, but I'll be honest. I thought Edson Barbosa won that rematch, man. I mean, it was a very close fight. You look at the stats. Edson outstruck him 60-56, and Edson got the takedown. It was a close fight, though. But not only the Hooker and the Barbosa fight, Mike Perry took down Paul Felder twice. Let's see. Francisco Trinaldo, striker, took down Paul Felder. Josh Berkman took down Paul Felder 3 times. Darren Cruikshank, a striker, took down Paul Felder 3 times. Ross Pearson, a striker, took down Paul Felder. Jason Sago, way back in the day, took down Paul Felder 6 times. So Paul Felder has been taken down quite a bit. And Justin's right. If Rafael dos Anjos has a brain, which, I mean, he does, you don't just get a UFC championship without a brain. Yeah, he should be able to come in here and grapple Felder. And not only with the grappling, I mean, it's not like Paul Felder has a big advantage on the feet. I mean, if anything, I'd say that the striking is going to be very 50-50 and one-sided here. I mean, you just only have to favor RDA based on the huge grappling advantage and the fact that he's been preparing for a fight against a top 15 lightweight for a while now. While, Paul Felder's been staying in shape, that's great and everything. He hasn't been training for a fight or game planning for a specific guy. And I know Rafael Dos Anjos hasn't been game planning for Paul Felder, but getting ready for a guy like Islam Makhachev, man. RDA is in, he's more of in fight mode right now than Paul Felder, and that really, it means something. So RDA is the rightful favorite. I think the last time I saw he was minus 185. Probably sounds about right. I'm going to go with RDA. I'm going to say he snatches a sub on Paul Felder late. I'm going to say 4th round rear naked choke, but I'm going to say Paul Felder has his moments. I'll say he even rocks RDA on the feet at one point. Should be a good fight.
Yeah, man. I can't wait, man, for this card. This is a big fight. A lot of good fights in this card. Next week's a good card, too. I know, we both are going to be diving in that card really soon. With a recap on our bets, I have, 3 plays. McKenna, 3 units plus 180. I got a bet on Granger, 3 units plus 105. And then I have a bet on, let's be honest, a guy that I'm probably going to bet on every fight until the train just falls apart. Brendan Allen, 3 units plus 120.
And right now, I just got the one play, Lewis Smolka, minus 130, but I fully plan on adding more, and Antonio-Arroyo is probably going to be one of those.
Cool. All right, guys, we'll be out of here. Please like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments below, and we'll be back next week. And I hope everyone has a good Wednesday. See ya.